Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, brought to you by the Hard Truth Distilling Company in Brown County, Indiana.
So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, it's time!
3 on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game!
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Float game for the win! Ayla's gone. Goodbye. Touchdown, Indy. Woo! IU America. They got a football team now.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Now, from the Hard Truth Studios, here's Jim Coyle.
Hey, it's another Thursday. Jim Coyle with you here as we kick things off, getting closer and closer to the weekend, but plenty to talk about yesterday. First day of opening football practice for Indiana, and I'm sure lots of other schools as we were out there, and then followed that up with the open basketball practice at Indiana, courtesy of Coach Darren DeVries, and that was very informative just to see all of that, and we'll talk about that today in depth. We will hear from the participants, including the coaches and a few players as well, as we got to speak with them and hear them talk, and it just gives you so much better insight to be able to talk about all of these things, to be honest with you, to have a much better understanding, especially of Indiana basketball. You know, we with not being able to see them up until now, or have an understanding of what they're going to be like, because they have a complete new roster. Indiana football on the other side, we've got a really good indication of what they're going to be like, because of what they have coming back, because of what they or how they're built. You know, we saw last year. So very, very entertaining, very informative. And again, I cannot thank Coach Darren DeVries enough for doing this. Seriously. I kind of joked saying I was taking credit for it, but yesterday, after the actual practice, and we were going through the meet and greet sessions, I walked up to him and said, "Hey, Darren, I want to thank you for doing this, man, because I this is incredible." He said, "Hey, I told you I'd take care of you." And when I asked him this back at Huber's to maybe think about giving us, a practice or two to look at, he said, "Yeah, I'll work on that." I thought that was just typical any coach in one ear out the other type of thing. No, he remembered that, because in talking to Charlie, the sports media information rep for Indiana for basketball, he said, "Yeah," he goes, "that was his idea. I was going to bring it up to him, but he came to me and said he wanted to do it." And so this gives you the indication of the mindset of this coach. He's not closed off. He's an open book. When you listen to him talk, and you'll hear him today as well, he's just an everyday guy for the standpoint, except for he's a hell of a basketball coach. Liked what I saw yesterday, I'll tell you that. It was enjoyable, but it was informative, and we'll talk more in depth about it. But I will say this, man, their offense is going to make defenses work their aspirin bottle off. It is a quick moving offense. Guys are moving. The ball is moving. You better be keeping up. Man, those 2 point guards in Tayton Conerway and Connor Enright both can shoot the ball, for one thing, from deep. Saw both of them knock down 3-pointers. But, boy, you better keep your head on a swivel when either one of them has the ball, because they're looking to pass. They're looking to get somebody else engaged. And Tayton Conerway, there was one specific play I wish I had on film. We weren't allowed to do that. But he drove the lane for an actual shot, tried to get a shot up. And in the process of going up, somebody gets a hand on the ball and really disrupted that, didn't knock it out of his hand. And he still had the wherewithal and the presence of mind to try to pass it to a teammate. I saw his hand. He just tried to pass it. And I talk about this because it was such quick thinking. If you saw this, it's going to be the offense is going to be exciting and fun to watch. I'll tell you that. Defensively, they're going to be very, very sticky. They're going to be thin in the middle. That's going to be their Achilles heel will be defending bigs. I would imagine. We didn't get to see that because there was no really a big for them to have to defend like that in a situation. But we'll see how they handle it. I will say this though: opposing bigs, they better get their track shoes on. They better be in shape and ready to run, because they're going to be chasing people all over the place. There's no, and even with the zone defense, man, it's going to be something. Curt Cignetti, we heard him speak as well. Very, very businesslike. And football, of course, we have a good indication of what their Indiana football is going to be like because of what all they're bringing back. My goodness, 3 All-Americans on defense. Are you kidding me? It's crazy. It is crazy. Let me hit a first break. We'll bring Bob Kravitz in next. He's been keeping up with things elsewhere, the Colts and the Pacers and things of that nature. Look forward to talking to him. Look forward to having you guys along as well. Thanks for being with us, no matter where or how you're listening on one of our great affiliates like 97.7 ESPN. The Ref, always the right call in Evansville. 12:30 a.m., 104.7 FM WJOB, the voice of the region, and Fort Wayne's only sports station, 1380 The Fan. Keep it locked where you got it. It's in the right spot. We're back with more from the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios after these messages.
Andy Moore Honda is Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer for a reason. Buy a new Honda and get a 3-month break from car payments. That's right, no payments for 90 days. That includes the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue, and you get it for just 0.9% financing. Or the 2024 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition or the Honda Accord LX, both for just 1.9% financing. Get more to your door from AndyMooreHonda.com, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer and your best place for new and used vehicles. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemooreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth's sour mash bourbons, sweet mash, and hard road ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular toasted coconut rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back to the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios, and I'm hogging the spotlight now as got Bob. Now we got Bob in there. What about Bob? What about Bob? Yeah, what about Bob?
Coming up and playing in my ALS golf tournament. I really appreciate it.
First of all, thank you, because thank you for all that you do for that. And that's an incredible cause. And it was an honor for you to have me in that, because there was you had some heavy hitters, my man. I was thoroughly impressed with the people who came out to play for you. Al Unser Jr., get out of here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
When you started, I was like, oh my God, I felt bad for being there almost. Mr. Collier, the former AD coach at Butler, our friend Chris Denary, you had Eddie White. I'm trying to go through I can't remember.
Bill Brooks.
Bill Brooks from the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Who keep telling them I can't remember them all, but you
had a lot of TV folks. We had Lindsey Monroe and Gina Glaros and Todd Clausen, and it's hard to get athletes this time of year because the fever going. The Colts are just getting started up at training camp, so it's hard to get people. But we got some interesting folks. We got a couple of country artists, Clayton Anderson and Corey Cox.
I can't believe I get to talk to Clayton. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I never got to talk to him. Damn it.
Great guy. Not a great golfer like the rest of us, but terrific guy.
Well, my job was not to be a good golfer that day. I decided it was to provide some kind of entertainment.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe my bad golf was entertaining. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we had fun. I know that. It was an incredible day. Nice course where everything was great. It was just a spectacular event. How it's run is spectacular. And most importantly, what you're doing it for is incredible, and having all those people show up is really nice. And you've got to be committed, because that takes work. I know how much work it takes.
I don't do a whole hell of a lot. I just get the celebrities lined up, but we raised about $86,000, which is nice. That was our goal, so we hit our goal, so we're very pleased.
Awesome. Let's see what I talked to Don Fisher yesterday, and I talked about this event. He says he invites me every year. And he goes, and I want to play so bad, but I can't.
I know,
because he has a conflict on Mondays, I believe.
Right. Yeah, I did ask Don. He told me he had an issue. So, hey, I'm happy that Don has been able to make it in the past, and hopefully we'll get him in the future.
Well, it's been great. Things are going on now. Everything's going on now. Colts camp has opened. Indiana football camp is open. Well, I should say college football is open. Basketball has been going. Indiana had an open basketball practice yesterday. Very eye-opening for us. And the Fever, I know they were playing last night.
Right.
I think they won. Did they end up winning?
I went to the game. They beat Phoenix,
Mercury
107 to 101.
Yeah, and that's without Caitlin Clark. Kind of impressive.
Right. Very much so. They remind me a lot of the Pacers. They started out kind of slow. They didn't have a lot of their top players. Halliburton was struggling just the way Caitlin is struggling. I think they're going to go on a run late in the season and be a real issue for teams in the playoffs. So, they're kind of treading water now. I think they're 3 games over 500, but watch out for them. I think in the postseason they're going to make some noise.
I agree with you. Especially when you see a team win without their quote unquote star. Alea Boston, of course, is also a star, but Caitlin,
Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, they've got great players, but when you can do what they're doing without, I don't know if you call her. You got to call her their A player, I would assume.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you're winning, it's like winning in golf when your A player is just not there, it's not sucking it up or whatever. Impressive. So hopefully, that continues for them, and like you said, they can go on a run. Colts camp is opened as well.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been out to any of that?
Yeah, I've been out to 3 or 4 days, and everybody keeps asking me about the quarterback derby. I'm not sure anybody has opened up a lead, between Richardson and Jones. I think that, they've both had their moments. They both looked really good the last 2 days. I wasn't out there yesterday, but I was out there the day before, and they both look really sharp, and I heard they looked sharp again yesterday. So it seems to me that Jones has got to completely outplay Richardson for a chance to get this starting job. I really feel like this is Richardson's to lose.
Well, you would think he's the incumbent to the job, but
Right.
He's had so many issues. You nailed it on the head in one of your pieces. I think you should call it "What About Bob?"
What about Bob? That's not a bad idea.
I swear to gosh, I love that. I love saying it. I think it's funny. But anyway, but if you're not subscribed to Bob's writings, you're missing out. Musings of an old sports writer. I still love What About Bob? I can't get
I
off
do.
but anyway, his last one was about Braden Smith, and not the Braden Smith you're thinking of, but one that plays for the Colts, returning after missing a lot of dealing with mental health, which it's hard for people to grasp, I think, a lot of times, that these elite level professional athletes, that it really that affects them that much. And
it can affect anybody. It affects rich and poor. It's not a matter of happiness. I mean, you can have everything going right in your life and still be in the throes of depression. It is a disease, and it is debilitating. So debilitating that for Braden Smith, he was thinking about not only quitting football, but committing suicide. And this is a guy who you look at and you think he's got everything. He's a professional football player. He's happily married. I believe he's got a kid or kids. He's on the surface. He's got everything a man could want. He's got a job that he seems to love, and he's making lots of money doing it. And yet he's in such a hole that he's thinking about committing suicide. So it just shows you how powerful depression and OCD can be.
Yeah, I do not have OCD issues, but I have never said this to anybody, but I deal with that as depression for a long time. But
me too. Me too.
There was something I saw it was like just a thumbnail with a quote, and I'm going to try to find it because I kept it, and it talked about how easy it is to hide that.
Oh, absolutely.
And it is. You're lying to yourself first and foremost, but you're also lying to everybody else, I guess, by hiding behind a mask.
Right.
So it's so many people deal with things that they don't want to talk about.
Right.
That we don't want to talk about because it's like there's a stigma attached to it, and it's not really. I don't think people are judgmental about it. I really don't. It's more about yourself feeling
weak,
inadequate.
Right. Like, you feel guilty. Like I went through something at a time of my life when everything was going great. I was working at Channel 13, and yet I was in this funk, and I felt guilty for being in this funk because it's like, how dare you? You're making good money. You're doing a job you love. Everything's cool. How come you feel this way? You feel this terrible guilt about the way you feel, and it just snowballs.
Yeah, and it's not. There's no easy cure. That's the thing.
No. I mean, this talk therapy,
pills don't always
therapy,
work.
Right. It's a lot of work. I think we're depressing the listeners now.
I know. I was going to say, well, Braden Smith has a good ending though. He fought through this, and he's coming out on the other side.
He is, and he's a guy who he went to the nth degree to get help. He went for 40 some odd days for therapy, inpatient, and did not see the kind of the kind of progress that he wanted to see. And he went to Mexico, of all places, and got a very unusual therapy that involved, I believe, frog venom or some kind of venom. It's a psychedelic, and apparently it rewires your brain. And hey, look, I'm not judgmental. Whatever works. And he seems to be in a very good place.
That's amazing.
It's weird.
That's going to take me a while.
Shows you how desperate he was.
It's going to take me a while to get the words frog venom out of my mind.
I didn't know frogs had venom, but some kind of venom.
I didn't either, man. It is crazy, but hey, whatever it takes, man.
Absolutely.
If you got to stand on one foot and stick your hand in the air or whatever, whatever it takes, especially in what he does. You gotta be on your game, man. The pro football is no joke. It is the roughest sport that there is.
No doubt. I'm sorry. I just saw a note come on my phone that Jim Irsay's place is for sale, and I'm thinking, yeah, why not? Let's make a run at it.
Well, we could come together and maybe we could buy the garage.
Maybe he's got a par 3 golf hole on his property. I did not know that. That's a game changer for me.
I mean, just one hole or multi?
Just one hole. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be nice. But so there you go. I'm sure that's quite a nice place.
Yeah, seven fireplaces apparently.
7 fireplaces.
7 fireplaces. A man likes his fireplaces apparently.
I wouldn't want to have to clean all those out.
Yeah, I understand.
And what else is going on with the Colts as it's early on, but they play the Ravens next week, man.
Next week, yeah.
I want to talk about coming at us at warp speed, and probably not a team I'd like to open up with. I promise you.
I think we're going to find out a lot more in this quarterback derby next week when they go out and deal with the Ravens. When you play your own team, it's competitive, but there's a limit. I think once they go up against the Ravens, we'll start to see some separation one way or the other with these two quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, there will have to be, and for Indianapolis's sake. But the bigger question is either of them a quarterback that can lead a winning team.
Well, that's the question. I mean, so far Anthony hasn't done it. Mostly because he's been hurt. He's only started 17 out of 34 possible games. And Daniel Jones did lead the Giants not only to the playoffs, but won a playoff game. So we know he's capable, but he hasn't done it in the last number of years. He got beat out by Tommy DeVito, for crying out loud. So that tells you something about him. So,
is he related to Danny?
Huh? No relation to Danny. No, yeah. Although Danny's got that athletic gene.
Yeah, he's
a big strapping guy.
Yeah, he's got a short strike zone, I can tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. Bill Veeck could have used him back in the day.
Well, it's a joke, but it's not there. I forget who he was in the All-Star game, I think. Shortest guy in Major League Baseball.
Eddie Gaedel.
Like 5'7" or something?
No. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about the small person.
No. I'm talking about right now.
Now. Okay.
There's a guy he's the shortest
about.
person in Major League Baseball right now. I forget who it was. I saw him in the All-Star game. He leads the major leagues in walks. I'm like,
I can believe that.
I said his strike zone is like this, man.
Yeah.
It's so hard to hit.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look, and look it up. It's not important enough for me to do it right now, but it's just kind of funny. So what's next for What About Bob?
Well,
I'm changing the name of your article,
I know.
whether you want to or not.
Well, I'm gonna write today about the fever and some other stuff, just odds and ends, and I'll probably get down to Bloomington soon enough. When the quarterback talks, I'll probably come on down. Whenever that will be, I have to check the schedule. And
Price is Right. Come on, Bob
Kravitz,
Kravitz, come on down.
And and of course Colts camp is always interesting. So I'll be there the next couple of days.
Yeah, Indiana football camp, as I sure Purdue's is open, but we were out there yesterday. You're not going to see a lot during the open session that we're there because it's 30 minutes. They're going through drills. You see quarterbacks throwing the ball and that, but it's just these rapid drills that they do. It's more about, I guess, seeing the players out there.
Right.
But it's always enjoyable to get to do that and to see that. So
I'm looking forward to seeing Mendoza. I read an article that he may be the number one pick in the draft. I mean, there's very high hopes for him.
Yeah, and when they make predictions like that, I'm like, well, why don't y'all wait and see how things go? But
that's no fun.
He threw for 3,000 yards last year while getting sacked 41 times.
Wow.
So in retrospect, Curtis Rourke, I don't know the stat by heart, but I'm going to guess it was around 15.
Yes. Yeah.
He got sacked for the season. No. And that's with an Indiana line that, was capable of doing the job most of the time.
Yes.
When they got up against Ohio State, it kind of feathered, but they have really upped the ante there, revamped that line. So it's going to be different this year. He should not have to worry about getting sacked. And it's going to be very interesting. He's got a great running backs room and an elite receiving core to throw the ball.
They're going to throw the ball all over the yard. They got great wide receivers.
Yep, and looking forward to that, man. Well, brother, I hope you have a great rest of your day and
you too, sir.
your week, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right, sounds good, buddy.
Bob Kravitz from What About Bob? Just kidding. Make sure you following Bob and subscribing to his daily or once a week articles?
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Whatever he feels like it. It's
Right,
worth reading. Back with more from the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios after these messages.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's C-O-Y-L-E, to receive a discounted fundraiser. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth Sour Mash Bourbons, Sweet Mash, and Hard Road Ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular Toasted Coconut Rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Jim Coyle with you as always, joined now by Coach Chenny Griffith. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good evening. Which three of those do I choose? It's going fast.
It depends on where you're located, I guess. But we look.
I'm in my basement, so I never know what time of day it is.
Well, see, that's what happens when you have to be kept in a basement.
I know. My wife
will work on that.
Yeah, she shuts me down here.
Yeah, I understand. Got the door locked and in the dark room. Oh man, looks very peaceful. I can tell you that. It
does. It's tranquil, I guess you call it.
Tranquilized. Yeah. Football opened up yesterday. Football camp, first day. We got to go out there and see some action. You hear from Curt Cignetti afterwards for the first time. And it's like I said earlier, you're not going to see a ton, really. These are just drills. We're there for 30 minutes of which we're able to watch and actually we can't film for the whole time, but we can take clips and post those after practice. But it's just a lot of moving around. It's getting in shape. It's no walking. You know, you're running drills, and when you complete the drill, you run back. You don't walk back to anything. There's no walking. No walking on the football field. Can't sing that one, but yeah, it's getting in. You got to get in now. You got to get in game shape. That's what this is the beginning of. These first 3 days will be at helmets only. Then they move into pads. And while Curt Cignetti does not do a ton of live tackling, it just you start to get you have to get your body into game shape. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I mean the subtle hits you take, whether it's to your legs, to your shoulders, or the blows that you're delivering. Your body has to, your muscles have to. You got to get them used to that. It's kind of like standing there and let somebody just punch on you for a long time and tenderize your muscles. I mean, that's probably the best analogy I could give. Just having somebody tenderize your muscles, because it's going to hurt for the first 3 days. It really will. But then it doesn't hurt anymore.
Right.
You get the muscles used to it. But until then, there'll
be some soreness.
Their neck's going to be sore from carrying that helmet around because your head's not used to putting that extra. Even though, I mean, what's a helmet weigh now? Probably.
Oh, I couldn't even tell you, but back in the
5
day,
pounds, maybe.
Yeah, back in the day, I felt like I had a 10-pound weight on my.
Oh, I guarantee you. But even adding that on, your neck has to get used to that. Their necks are going to be sore if they've not been wearing the helmet during the summer, which it would not be a bad idea. But we got to see the quarterbacks going through the workouts. It was, there's no depth chart, but we kind of know what we know. Pretty positive that Fernando Mendoza will be QB1. I mean, I don't think that's a secret. Alberto Mendoza, QB2. Kind of cool. Not, I don't think there's a school in the country that has a 1-2 punch at quarterback that are brothers.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's ever been one in the history of college football, let alone here in Indiana.
I'm sure there has to have been in the history, but you don't see it.
It's a great trivia question.
You don't see brothers usually playing. A lot of times you see brothers, if you see them, they're not playing the same position.
No, not usually. Not usually, right.
That's one of the differences. They play different positions. But the Mendoza boys, what did I nickname Alberto? The Cuban Missile?
I believe so.
Yeah, so we got the Cuban Missile. What are we going to call Fernando?
Well, I think you got to give him the initials CM1 and CM2.
Well, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Cuban Missile A, Cuban Missile B.
Yeah, I just see how fast I came up with that. That's how my body's operating today. I'm on it today. But first and foremost, I appreciate the
Cuban rocket.
Yeah, there you go. CR1, CR2. You got them both.
Better. I like missile better. He's throwing missiles.
Yeah. Well, first, let me say this. Number one, I appreciate the opportunity to host the show when you've been gone, and your great audience has always been very.
They love you. What are you talking about? I think they love you more than they love you more than they love me. I think that's the deal. They're like, oh my God, thank God we got Coach today. So there you go.
Well, hey, I appreciate it in being associated with Indiana Sports Beat Radio and the Hoosier.com as well this year. But, the first practice for any coach, and I always find it fascinating. They do the media availability right after practice one when they're out in their underwear and helmets, and there's really not much to really say other than maybe give an updated injury report and things of that nature. And, has there been any defectors prior to the camp starting and such? But outside of just getting in football shape, the reality of the matter is that these kids have been going at it, ever since the end of spring ball with all their conditioning and training. And that should be a very fresh and ready to go football team that hit that field yesterday afternoon. And that's not to say there won't be any soreness, because there's always some soreness because of a muscle grouping that maybe you haven't used quite as frequently. But I think that's the key component. And then the other thing is, hey, football players, coaches as well, we're trained rats. There's a way there's a way that you do things. Now, the young bucks that come in yesterday, maybe that's the first time they've been on the field because they weren't around for spring practice, are getting adjusted to that routine. And once they get adjusted to what is expected, entering the field, position groups, things of that nature, again, you'll have 105 trained rats and, however many coaches and support staff all in sync. And that's the way college football has always been when you're dealing with a group of men that's in the hundreds. You have to have a specific routine for how you do things and the expectation from point A to point B, because the emphasis what Coach Cignetti likes is fast, physical, and relentless. And that is something that is beat into them in their minds from the time they step on campus until the day they walk across the graduation stage. You know, that is the mentality of Indiana football. And Sig's approach is to have them fast, physical, and relentless, hungry and humble, as he likes to say. And he'll get him that way within a day or two. And, you know, after that, it's, you know, take the training wheels off, baby. Let's go.
Someone just, what was that? The Stash, I think. Yeah. Ginger Stash Golf Company. That's a cool name. Please explain what that is. But pointed out their initials, AM, FM.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's a unique one.
IU football tuned in on AM, on FM and AM.
And there you go.
That's
Fernando.
Wow, we're coming up with all kind of stuff. Man.
Yeah, that one.
Someone mentioned the Cuban rocket, I think. So
yeah,
Fernando can be the Cuban rocket, and Alberto the Cuban missile.
Yeah, these they need to go out and start patenting these things right now, because who knows?
Well, if there was a Cuban restaurant in Bloomington, which there is not, to my knowledge, man, you want to talk about some sandwich ideas? Bam, here we go.
Oh yeah, and just think of the NIL opportunities that they would have because of it. You know, or in that day and age. So who knows? Maybe someone will pop in and open a business there and Cuban restaurant. Maybe they get the Mr. and Mrs. involved to get some of their secret recipes.
Don't think it's not already on my mind, Brian. It's already on my mind, man.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had somebody that would take that over for us, because I have so many great things, and but I that is not something I have time to deal with.
Yeah, you need a marketing strategist.
Maybe you ain't lying.
On3 can lend you some helping hands.
If anybody out there knows or does that, hey, jump in and let me know, and we'll work something out, man. That's got
the day and age of today.
Going on.
Marketing and social media strategists. I've seen those advertisements from business to whatever.
Hey, here we go again. Ginger Stash Golf. If he has a bad game, it's a Cuban Missile Crisis. Man, we could go on with that all day.
The audience is on it today, and as they always are. And but these are some really
some new
good
names. Dave threw in a great comment about you.
Someone
thanks, I don't see on here commenting. I'm sure that it's always listening. That's the thing that amazes me. I mean, shocks me when I'm out and I just start talking to somebody about something, whatever. I was playing golf not too long ago, and an older guy just starts talking to me. Says, "Oh, I loved what you said." I'm like thinking,
"How do you know?"
Oh, I'm like, "You're listening," and I'm like, "Going, it blows my mind." Still, been doing this show for going on 9 years, and
wow,
it will always blow my mind. I am grateful. Anybody that ever comes up to me and says, "Hey, Ellis," I'm grateful. Please do not ever be bashful. I'm the one that will be embarrassed. I promise you. I just appreciate everybody.
My father-in-law listens down.
Now, wait a minute. We've got more. We've got more Cubans breaking. It's Mark Cuban's birthday.
Wow. 67.
This is a Cuban kind of
day in flavor.
And I will be in Puerto Rico, in San Juan, Puerto Rico next week for IU basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And I assure you, I will be searching and attaining Cuban cigars. So, just a big Cuban flavor going on here at ISB.
You need to do the show from the beach. That's what you need to do. Little backdrop.
A little difficult, but I may work on that today to see if that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know if the internet's
about
available in Puerto Rico.
and you know, talk about you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate again how when you were able to host, because I've never had that. It's only been me, and I did. That's why I've never taken days off. It's just crazy. So you've allowed me to do things, but just it allowed me, like yesterday, to go cover.
Yeah. And we got the live remote
IU football practice. I won't go out there today for this one, but they have other ones, so I will continue to go there, and we can try to make that happen as much as possible. And it's great that you allowed us to provide the better coverage to the fans. So you're doing a huge favor to all the listeners.
Yeah, and the live
as well.
The live spots worked flawlessly. Audio was really good.
The funny thing is, I lost you yesterday for a little bit because
the sun, it
overheated.
Yeah,
it wouldn't do anything. I'm like, are you kidding me? But it's because I was facing the sun, as so was the back. Yeah. And it's black, and I felt it. And it was hotter than fire, so I quickly, went in and tried to in the shade and cool it down, and blowing on it and putting it on a seat of a golf cart that was cool. I did.
Yeah,
and it finally it came back around real quick.
It's amazing how that impacts any type of live setup. Even when we do high school football for radio up here in the Fort Wayne area, which we're getting ready to start here in a couple weeks, if we get a hot, humid day and that sun is, beating down on the press box area, we have the same problem of overheating the technology, and it automatically shuts off until it cools.
How about Dave? Let's give a shout out to Dave. He says he is 86, being a IU fan since 1950.
My goodness.
People, do the math on that. Do the math on that one, people. What's that come out to be? 75 years of being a fan. Wow. He may get Dave, you deserve an award, but we're more appreciative of you listening to us, man. That's incredible. Also, let's see, Daniel, haven't seen from Daniel. Appreciate that comment, man. I appreciate you so much, and great to have you along. Spread the word. Tell your friends. But we appreciate everybody so much. I seriously do. And we're getting into that time now where we'll have more and more listeners, because during the summer, I'm not gonna lie, listenership
drives down
a little bit, because although there is a ton going on, it's not in the rhythm. It's hit or miss for particular sports. People have, like the truth, that's Robert Carter. You see if you see comments, the truth down in Evansville, as he is known. He's a basketball man. He's straight up basketball. So he's jacked. And
you got to get
Robert, I think you're going to be happy with the basketball team. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see these games in Puerto Rico, especially the one against the better Serbian team, because I want to see the thing I want to see is what they do defensively against a big. That is because that is going to be their Achilles heel, so to speak. But the way I saw them playing defense yesterday, man, like Josh Harris, whatever, he's up inside your jersey. I mean, it looks like he is literally up inside and coming out of the neck of your jersey. They're in your face. They're stuck. They're not, you don't have cushion. And they're used to moving so quickly because their own offense moves so quickly that is the kind of shape that they're going to be in. So, and everybody is, although they're all new faces, they seem already to be a much better bonded team than last year's was. Last year's was just a bunch of last year's had a lot of mercenaries.
Privileged mercenaries.
Umar Ballo, I'm still not going to get out of my mind. I understand he was not happy that he didn't get the ball in that last shot at Purdue, because Indiana probably would have won had that been the case.
Absolutely.
But the wrong shot was taken, but how he has expressed that by yelling there at the end of the game and then walking off the court, I just, man.
Well,
if you're a big time pro, maybe you get away with that, but that is very, very unprofessional, and it showed to me that team was not bonded together. They were pieced together. This team, I already see great bonding. They seem like they're working together. They know that they're in it together.
Yeah.
I really got that indication yesterday. Saw different people, whether it was Connor Enright being a leader vocally, saw Tucker DeVries being a leader vocally. He didn't say a lot, but he only spoke when there was a need for either an encouragement or hey, let's go, let's do this, let's whatever. So I saw a lot of that, but I saw a lot of hard work, and this this trip to San Juan will add to that for them. It's what it's about. It's about the games, but it's a huge part of it is about the bonding. Hey, we've got to take a break. Got Coach Griff along with myself, Jim Coyle. We're back with more from the Hard Truth Distilling Company studios after these messages.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth Sour Mash Bourbons, Sweet Mash, and Hard Road Rye, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular Toasted Coconut Rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So, no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive. When it comes to apparel and promotions, FreeThink has you covered, literally, whether it's 24 or 200 shirts for sports leagues, businesses, or groups. FreeThink Apparel and Promotions can also create your very own merchandising store. FreeThink Apparel and Promotions did it for Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and they can do it for you. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, promotional products, vehicle wraps, or anything else under the promotional line. See what FreeThink Apparel and Promotions can do for you at freethinkapparel.com. Welcome back to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Jim Coyle with you along with Coach Griff on this Thursday. Man, this week has it's kind of flown by. I've got to be honest. There's so much going on. I mean, this was the busiest summer ever for me. Usually
man, you look forward to the basketball tournament ending, because that's kind of the beginning of a slower time.
Right.
Well, it was the opposite this year. It was the beginning of a busier time, and it stayed that way right up until now. It's been, and part of that's because I try to cover everything possible for people in this state, whether it's the Brickyard 400, the Indianapolis 500, even the Kentucky Derby. But
Absolutely.
But yeah, now we're getting down to brass tacks now, baby. It's college football season, although college basketball is mixed in with there, which is kind of odd. You know, you think of football in the fall, basketball later, but they both start at the same damn time virtually. When basketball season does not officially start until later, the official practices, but because you're allowed to do certain things with
Different
the
groups,
games that
yeah.
you've got set up, the trip, which is something that this team desperately needs, just because, again, of the bonding of every face on this roster is new again. Last year, that was probably 75% the case. Well, fans are going to have to get used to new faces and numbers. And and I'll be honest with you, Trent Sisley yesterday, when I was watching practice, I wasn't paying that great attention. I didn't get to see a great picture of his face at one point, and I just saw the jersey, and I'm like, who's that? Who's number 11? Oh, crap, it's Trent. It's Trent. I mean, I know Trent very well, and but Trent's beefed up, bulked up. You can see it. I mean, I instantly saw that. That's part of the reason why I'm like, who's number 11? It's got a haircut. That part of it, a little tan, but man, you can see the transformation that he has made. In the last 2 years, really following him closely, boy, you can see a transformation of him. He's going to be a big boy. He's 6'8" and putting all that muscle on, and he works his butt off. He's a coach's dream. I mean,
Yeah.
when Todd Leary's on with us, he talks about him all the time. He's worked him out quite a bit, and I'll talk about that with Todd this week. But he's a coach's dream.
Yeah.
He is a player's player. He first of all, he wants to be where he is at Indiana. He wants to play for Indiana. He wants to represent that jersey. And there's not another player on that team that has that depth of that he does, because he was born here. He grew up here. He grew up watching that. He knows from his dad and his brother about anything. I mean, it's just that family is a great basketball family. His dad, Matt, and his brother that also played basketball, but that's just a lineage. And so he has had the great fortune to absorb all that. His dad was a player, good player, but to absorb that for a long time, and it makes a huge difference. He is a guy that Indiana fans are going to love, especially once he is able to start making an impact in the games. I don't know whether that's going to be in year one or not, just because of what's in front of him, first of all, and the fact that he's a freshman. It's just like the big kid that they're bringing in, the 6'11" dude. Zach, was on with us, Zach Browning, and he said he didn't expect him to see the floor. And that kind of surprised me in watching his highlights, because dude's got talent, man. He can shoot at 6'11", smooth 3-point shot, soft touch from 6-8 feet. He's athletic. But I'll take Zach's word for it. He's covering it a lot more closely than I am. And maybe it's because of the speed after I saw how fast they move. Yeah, it might take some acclimating to get accustomed to that.
For any freshman, football or basketball, the adjustment to college football, regardless of level, from Division III on up, the speed of the game itself is so much more intense and fast than any high school gymnasium or high school football stadium throughout the state of Indiana, or for that matter, for the most of the country. That's the one thing that kids have to get adjusted to. Now, some who are gifted, and maybe this 6'11" kid's gifted because he has something you cannot coach, which is height. Maybe he finds a way and, cracks the code, and he's able to adjust to a fast-paced, intense, physical brand of basketball that's played over here. And I think, Coach has done very similar things, in my opinion, that what Sig has done. He's set an example of what he expects, and it's evident that you picked up on that watching practice yesterday, the intense or the physicality of their defense. And I agree. In basketball, you have to have a physical presence on the court, on the defensive end of the floor. And then, of course, you have to have the skill and finesse to do things offensively that enable you to score quick, or shoot threes and with high percentage and things of that magnitude. So I think you'll get a good look of what they'll be like coming out of Puerto Rico, with an idea of what they need to work on or what they maybe lack in some categories. But I think the fact that they're just getting an opportunity to go play as a team outweighs any X and O aspects that they may pick up from playing these 3 games that may help them in their first year in Indiana or the Big Ten.
Yeah. And I love, our audience is, pretty funny, pretty quick. Jason said he was in the Pines yesterday, and I'm assuming he's talking about outside watching practice. But I was in the Pines yesterday, like Jim golfing. I would be offended if that wasn't true. So there's that. And he's never even seen me play golf. That's the funny thing.
Right.
But it's not true. Brian says he thought Ballo tried harder than most of them, truthfully, then he was a winner everywhere before he got to IU. Truth to that. I get it. He was PO'd because they didn't win the game, and he knows they could have. I get that. And I actually love that. But you still have to have the wherewithal to express that in the locker room.
Yeah.
You keep that in the locker room. Go in the locker room and rip his ass. That's okay. He probably deserved it, because Indiana had made so many mistakes up to that point that cost them. That was probably the 3rd game they lost due to a complete mistake. But that to me goes back to 2 things. Either you've got a player that is just not quite at that level of mental thinking of being able to take the game that fast and do the right thing. But more importantly, the head coach didn't. Mike Woodson was so lost. He did nothing. And then he tried to make an excuse afterwards. Well, we tried to get the ball. No, you didn't. Why are you talking about something that is clearly broadcast on TV where everybody can see exactly what happened, and you're going to say something different? Come on, man. That's another thing that yesterday the open practice showed. Darren DeVries is running the show. Darren DeVries is coaching. And if Indiana's moving at this high level, he's coaching at a high level. You have to. Your coaching acumen has to be on par with what is happening on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And Indiana is going at warp speed. And that's a word that a phrase that Darren DeVries used yesterday. We'll hear from him in a little bit about that this is at warp speed. And it was. That's the best way to describe everything they do. Mm-hmm. It is at warp speed. Yeah. I think he mentioned that when he was asked about Trent Sisley's movement and how he's been coming along. But speaking of Trent, let's hear from Trent and Tayton Conerway maybe here as we spoke to them yesterday.
I don't know yet. I'm just trying to grind through practice, get better every single day, do what Coach asks of me, and just try to do what I can every single day to get minutes like that and then produce on the floor.
Man, when I first looked out there, I wasn't really paying attention, and I just saw the 11. I would look at the roster, and oh my God, that's Trent. Man, you've grown up, you've gotten big, you're putting on the weight. What's the transformation been like for you going from high school, even Montverde, to the D1 college?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, like you said, I put on a little bit of weight. Our weight coach, Coach Horney's been really good so far in the weight room. Put on a little bit of muscle, a little weight, so everything's been good so far in there.
How about the adjustment to the speed of this game? You can tell that these guys are, whether it's defense or offense, everything is moving at a fast pace. So, and that's always the adjustment everyone has to make. How has that been?
Yeah, absolutely. As a freshman coming in, you're just trying to do what you can to get on the floor, stuff like that. So, learning all that, as fast as I can, I think that's going to be what can help me. So I'm obviously still trying to learn all that defensively, fighting through screens, being in the right spot, stuff like that, and just being super physical.
Who's the hardest guy to guard on this team for you?
Oh, no, we got a lot of upperclassmen, and we got a lot of dudes with speed, good shooting. So all that mixed together, it makes everyone kind of hard to guard.
I noticed the point guard, you better be watching at all times or you might get a ball in the ear.
Yeah.
He's always got passing on his mind.
Yeah, for sure. It's we got a lot of guards, Deuce, whether it's like Connor, Tayton, all them, that, they all can really pass it and, get downhill.
Trent, you talk about the experience with this group. You got a lot of guys from a lot of places, but it seems there's some chemistry to this group already.
Yeah.
How has it come together so quickly here?
I think it's a lot of upperclassmen, dudes that have had a lot of experience so far, played a lot of college games, scored a lot of college points, everything, played in a lot of high-level games. A lot of these dudes have played in the tournament, stuff like that. So obviously that's our goal and, stuff like that. So to have all those guys here, and then I'm obviously a young guy, freshman coming in, to have those upperclassmen has been great for me.
Hey, Tayton, how are you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Hey, I was watching you out there, and I just told Trent, I was like, man, if you're on offense and he's got the ball, you better be looking because you're going to get a ball in the ear if not.
Yes, sir. I mean, trying to make that defense kind of not know what's coming next and just have everybody being on their toes helps a lot, too. Trent's an athlete, though, man. I go put it by the rim. He'll go finish that.
I saw a particular play where you weaved through the lane and got up a shot, but someone got a hand on it. But the last thing you did was try to pass the damn ball to somebody.
Yes, sir, man. That passing stuff is just so fun because growing up, my mom always said, man, you pass it, that's a stat for you. You get an assist, and a stat for them, they get points. So best of both worlds. Everybody's happy.
I heard you talking about your tattoo earlier, and you just mentioned your grandma again. She must have been a huge impact on your life.
Man, my family really took pride in me at a young age. They were just like, they didn't want me to kind of go off my path. It wasn't like they forced me to do anything, but they seen potential in me, and they really pushed me. So, man, my family's what got me here, really.
Let's talk about this team. Lots of shooters, man. You can shoot it. Connor can shoot it. Obviously, DeVries can shoot it. A lot of shooters for you to pass to. What's it been like getting everybody together on the same page?
Well, then practices are hard because if you close out too slow, they're probably going to make it. But just everybody kind of staying within themselves, like doing what you do. Like our shooters, like if you catch the ball and you're open, shoot the ball. Like that's what you shot 40%. We need you to do that. And then our playmakers make plays. So just everybody kind of doing what they do and not getting outside of themselves, I feel like helps us a lot.
Who's the toughest defender on this team?
Me, yeah, for sure.
I love that
we
answer.
Got some tough dudes. No, we got some tough
Who's the
dudes,
second toughest defender on the team?
Connor over there, man. Me and him get into it every day.
Really?
Yeah, he's tough.
Little scrappers.
Hey, he's tough. He gets up in you. You might not feel him for the first couple plays, but, man, you play him for 40 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be a long second half.
I can tell there was a lot of talk before the season, obviously. Not a lot of height on this team, but from what I just saw, I can tell the goal is just to make defenses miserable as hell. The ball was moving quickly. Everybody's moving quickly. Cuts, picks, whatever. This team is just trying to drive defenses crazy.
Yeah, so our coaches always say, like, offense is going to come. Like, we got a lot, like you said, we got shooters, we got playmakers. Like, we got people who can score, but defense is going to be our big thing that separates us. Just be tougher than the other team. Like I was telling them, like, man, I want every team, when they leave there, like, I don't want to play them again. Like, I don't care if we won or lost, I don't want to play that again. That was a tough game. And as long as we can get that, I feel like we're going to be all right. Yes, sir.
And watching you guys today, two things quickly came to mind. Defenses better be in shape because you guys move quickly, the ball moves quickly, and if you miss anything, a shot's going to go up.
Yeah, I'd say we pride ourselves on sharing the ball, and I think this group is super unselfish and obviously can really shoot it. And I think it's only going to get better as we get more familiar with each other. But the ball just pops around really fast. Ball and player movement has been a big key throughout the summer. And then, just the unselfishness of the group is, really what it comes down to. Everybody's, really good in that aspect.
Yourself aside, of course, who's been sticking out to you, whether it's offensively or defensively, as like really someone to be watched?
Honestly, everybody that's came in has probably exceeded any expectations that I've had. I think everybody's came in, worked extremely hard. I think the group as a whole understands what it means to be here at Indiana, and we want to make that the fan base and the people around here super proud of the way we play, how we play, the enthusiasm we play with, and the competitiveness we play with. And I think that's the thing that we've held our hat on all summer, and I think everybody's working to make tremendous strides.
A couple things stand out. This team has great guard play. They have shooting and sticky defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think the defensive end, it's, the guards are up into the ball and then, trying to disrupt as much as possible. And then everybody behind them is kind of, playing off that and, trying to help them out to allow them to be the.
And that was Tucker DeVries. And I think that's where lost power right there. But he heard from Trent and Tayton Conerway, and I love Tayton. When I asked him who was the best defender, and he said me, I loved that because it was not an arrogant answer. It was he didn't. He probably is, because dude, when you watch him on offense, I mean, I'm not kidding. He's looking to get the ball to somebody. He's not looking to score. Now he will, because I saw him knock down 3-pointers. I saw him try to get to the rim, but he is looking to get the ball to somebody and get it there quickly. So it was fun to watch him. And then when I asked him who was the second best, and he said Connor Enright, their other guard. This is going to be a scrappy team. I'm telling you. When you have your point guard claiming to be the best defender and your other point guard pointing out is the second best, that's good, because it all starts and ends with guard play. And if Indiana can put a menacing defensive front up on guard play, that's going to make life difficult for other teams that they play to get their offense started. But they're not the only ones that are going to play tough defense. This team is going to be the best defensive team you've seen in Indiana basketball in quite some time. I cannot wait it might take the entire season to get for the stats, but maybe, halfway through the season. But statistically, I will guarantee you right now, this will be the best defensive team Indiana's seen in quite a while. We'll have to see how long, to be honest with you. This could go back to the Bob Knight days, because
I was just thinking the same thing.
Archie Miller, his pack line defense was crap. It never, I don't know if he knew what the hell he was doing. Under Mike Woodson, that's defense just what didn't seem to be the number one. I don't know what the number one thing was. So we'll see. But anyway, Indiana basketball fans, I don't know how many games they're going to win this year, and I don't mean that they're going to just win a few. I don't think that they're going – this is the type of team – I don't think they're going to lose any game they're not supposed to, for one thing. And that happens. You get complacent, and sometimes, and a team steps up and they take care of that opportunity. But I don't think that's going to happen, Griff. This team is they have pride. You can you get that feeling. Being allowed into that practice yesterday was just so good to get a really an understanding of the makeup of the team. I can't tell you how good they're going to be. I can't tell you where they're going to finish in the Big Ten right now. We need to see them on the court and what they can do against other teams who are also going to be good. I mean, they're not going to be playing the Sisters of the Poor every week, Griff. And you, as being a coach, that
the Sisters of the Poor can be tough at times now.
Especially if you're not playing your game, there other teams, that's their opportunity. You're going to get every team like that. You're going to get their best shot. And we saw last year, Indiana, last couple of years, struggled in the non-conference portion of their season against teams, which kept them out of the NCAA tournament. They were beating teams by single digits that they should have been handling by 20 points. And they just didn't have it. But again, that started at the top, and that's where that came from. That's no longer an issue.
Well, I think you hit it on the head, and probably Coach emphasizes this pretty strictly. The word selfishness. I heard Coach Cignetti mention that in the press conference yesterday about successful teams. You just cannot have any selfishness from A to Z. And when you talk about a guy that wants to be a guy that delivers the ball as opposed to maybe taking shots that he shouldn't be, that's called being unselfish teammate. And he's there to run the show on the court, and that's what the expectation is. And everybody buys into their role on the team. And that's the hardest thing to get kids to understand sometimes, what their role may be, because maybe they haven't played that role in 5, 6, 7 years. And a first-year kid coming into the program who saw a lot of minutes in high school for 4 years may have to understand that his role will be somewhat limited, but it's what you do with it, what you do with those minutes that ultimately is the most important thing to the team. So those are the things I think you'll see differently from this group and Coach, in terms of the little things that maybe Woodson wasn't always on top of. Those type of things that would maybe drive you and I nuts, that, even from a basketball fan's perspective, drives them nuts, because they're used to seeing a certain expectation on the floor, be it offense or be it defense. So it's going to be an interesting year all the way around, football and basketball. I think the excitement level yesterday was truly felt throughout the entire state in terms of starting football and getting the fall camp season off to a positive start. And then you throw in the basketball component to it all. And it was a great day all around in Bloomington. And I think Coach did a great thing there, because he's selling this first year program of his. And the best way to sell that is let outside eyes come in and observe, whether it's for 30 minutes or 10 minutes, what they have there as a group, how his kids handle themselves in the presence of others, when all eyes are upon them, type of deal. And then being able to let the media go out and talk about this team in the ways that they're, whether they're talking about it, whether they're writing about it, whether they're doing reporting about it on TV. Those are all positives for them. And it has nothing to do with, well, how many games they're going to win. It has everything to do with the perception that is coming off the court and what is expected, and everybody can pick that up and talk about it. So I think it's a win-win for everyone involved. And I think the fact that, Sig's open with practice and such, you'd like to have him maybe open up a little bit longer than just the first 15 minutes of a practice, see a little bit more of the action.
It was 30. We got 30 minutes.
30. And, but the bottom line is those are things that are vitally important to programs is having that accessibility with the local and, regional media outlets throughout the state. I mean, how many media people came down yesterday from all over the state of Indiana, maybe for both, the football availability, and then hung around until the time was right for the basketball availability. I mean, you guys may have saw people there that you wouldn't normally see in Bloomington in the summer months because of, there's really nothing to overly report at this point in time. So I think what they did yesterday was a great day.
There were a couple of the indie radio or TV stations there, like maybe 3. I can't remember what was there, but Anthony Calhoun also, expressed his gratitude to Coach for allowing that, because it was something, because it was better than the open football, because they weren't just going through drills. They were going at it. They were playing. Yeah. They were playing offense and defense, and they were playing on one end in half court sets and just working and working and working. And we got to see virtually any and everybody do work and do what they're supposed to do. Got to see them switch teams, and you had the white team, which is I'm good from what I saw yesterday. The white team was the A team, and so, but you got to see guys switch and go from the whatever color the red team to come over and play on the white team, like Trent Sisley had him change jerseys, and I saw there was another one or two, but it was. I'm telling you, that was so great, because they gave us a great glimpse of what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. And there was no filming, we weren't texting about it, but didn't need to, because it gives me what I'm talking about right now, and that ability to be able to talk about that right now. Five made a great point about, we've talked about these guys. He said none of these guys on the current roster has been highly touted throughout their careers, so he expects a different level of humbleness and attitude. That's exactly what you're getting. Yeah. And that's a great point. That's fantastic point, Five. You hit the nail on the head. These are guys who have wanted to be at this level. They've never been at this level. Josh Harris played on Florida's national championship team, but he wasn't a starter. And he will be a starter here. He's going to get the minutes. This is his opportunity. And this is an opportunity for all these guys. It's a fresh start. And so they all seem in. I can tell you that. They definitely all seem to be in on the deal. Let's take a break. We've got plenty more to talk about. You're going to hear from you'll hear from Coach Darren DeVries, as well as Curt Cignetti, as we were at practice there yesterday. Coach Griff is with me. We're coming back right after this quick break from Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth Sour Mash Bourbons, Sweet Mash, and Hard Road Ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular Toasted Coconut Rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So, no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive. When it comes to apparel and promotions, Freethink has you covered, literally, whether it's 24 or 200 shirts for sports leagues, businesses, or groups. Freethink Apparel and Promotions can also create your very own merchandising store. Freethink Apparel and Promotions did it for Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and they can do it for you. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, promotional products, vehicle wraps, or anything else under the promotional line. See what Freethink Apparel and Promotions can do for you at freethinkapparel.com. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday. Glad to have you along for the ride. Jim Coyle here and Coach Griff joining me. Appreciate that. And did you watch
pup?
What's that?
I was holding the pup up.
Oh, I didn't see him. Bring him up. Put him up. Let's see him. What's the name here? We got a name. We got to have names, man.
Archie boy.
Oh God. Well, I know you did not name him after Archie Miller. That would be rough.
There's Archie.
But Archie's hard to see because Archie's solid black.
Yeah, he's a Scotty.
Yeah, that's what I thought from barely making that out. But where did Archie come from, man?
What's that?
Where did Archie come from?
Like in where we picked him up at?
The name. The name.
Gotcha. My daughter named him that. Why? I have no idea. She's always taken part in the naming of our animals, and it just stuck because he is kind of an Archie. Nothing to do with
so he's
Archie.
Not very successful, is what you're saying.
Well, he's not yet, maybe. He thinks he is. He runs the show here in the household.
Well, that sounds a lot like Archie Miller. He thought he was not doing well at Rhode Island either. I think he's going to be on his way out at Rhode Island.
Yeah.
As well.
Honestly, I had to go upstairs and get him because my wife's cleaning lady is here, and he goes bat, crazy if I don't bring him down in the office with me. So he's down here with my other Scottish Terrier, whose name is Mr. Finnegan, and he'll take one of those Cuban cigars when you get back.
I will definitely take care of you. I love names like that. That's funny. I just find that hilarious. When you have to address a dog, Mr. Finnegan, how are you, sir?
Yeah, that's
right. That would just that opens up a great conversation right off the bat when you're talking. Mr. Finnegan, how are you doing?
He is a tank for a small dog. He is all muscle and strong as you can get, but a cool demeanor. He's, Mr. Chill.
How about Archie Bunker?
Yeah.
That's good. That was he was funny.
The wife leaves me and the boys home during the day.
Better than Jughead, Brian says. Better than Jughead.
That's true. That's true.
I saw a dog this week that was Jughead. Largest head on a dog I've ever seen in my life. I guarantee you his head was maybe shy of a foot wide, and I am not joking. And I don't know if it was a pit bull. I think it might have been, but you want to talk about, I was like,
I was just mesmerized by the size of the head on that dog. I've just never seen anything. It was bigger than a human head by far. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, my son has I think it's called a cane corso, but maybe not. But somewhere in that lineage there. So big dog, big head, and he has him. And while I'm at it, we'll shout out my son's birthday is today. Down in Orlando, Florida, working and enjoying the Orlando lifestyle. But former Hoosier, number 17. Played under the Kevin Wilson era up until he blew his knee out at Penn State. And that was it for his career.
Well, how come we've never had him on talking some football?
Well, you can.
You can. You know what? Sometime when you're hosting and whatever, what a great guest that would be to talk IU football.
Yeah, he's opinionated. I'll put it that way. So he gets it honestly.
Does he follow the game? Does he following IU?
Yeah.
Dude, what are you doing? What's his name?
Isaac Griffith. Number 1 in the household and number 17 in the program.
There you go. Boy, names come to me like this.
You were on it today. You've got the Mendoza
I have an
brother.
ADHD brain that is going 80 different directions at once. But that kind of stuff, I love doing that thing. But there you go. The two Griffs. Absolutely. But why would you not? That would be a great segment. You two going at it, maybe counterpoint kind of thing. Jane, you ignorant slut.
He gets it honestly. I'll have to say that.
Let me correct an error. Thank you, Heath. Earlier, I said that Josh Harris that played at Florida. He played at North Florida. Sam Alexis is the guy that played at Florida. So thank you, Heath, for catching that. Appreciate that.
But he watches it religiously, and he
Let me ask a better question. Does he watch or listen to Indiana Sports Beat?
That's a good question.
It's a great question, and it needs an answer.
I'll have to have that answered for you there because he's working the pharmaceutical gig that he has there in Orlando, and but he I thought he was going to go into coaching, and matter of fact, after he blew his knee out against Penn State, Kevin Wilson, he was a student coach, and then Kevin was hoping and trying to get him to stay and, get into the coaching game as a GA and that. But the other thing was Kevin Johns is position coach as well. We're trying to get him to stay in it. And he just, for whatever reason, said he didn't want that quote unquote lifestyle. And he wanted to just be a normal 9-to-5er and get a job, and he did, and he enjoys watching it, though. I get texts and phone calls.
And you know what? That was probably a very, very intelligent move. He wants to have a life. Let me tell you, you don't have a life if you're doing that, as you know.
No. So, my wife raised our two kids. Let's just put it that way. Because I was gone frequently.
That's how it always is.
It always is.
The hours that Curt Cignetti puts in, what would you estimate a day? Like yesterday, he was probably in at 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
The open practice began around 9 o'clock thereabouts. They go for a couple hours, then he has to do the media, then they go back, watch the film of the practice to break that down, then probably have separate meetings with different departments, then plan the next day's practice. There's so much. And in season, how many hours a day is he putting in?
Well, right now, I would say probably in the neighborhood of 14 during the camp, because you're probably, like you said, starting at 5, he maybe gets home at 11. Now, he's not a big guy. I mean, he's a big guy on when the work is done, go home. And I have looked at his schedule and kind of how he lays it out. And, like now in camp, after their meetings at 7:30, which are done like at 8:45 or 7:45, I can't remember, more like 7:30, 7:45-ish, whatever. But they get a snack and those kids are back to their dorms and whatever. And the coaches are probably finishing up whatever needs to be finished up. And then they go home. He's a big believer on keeping not only his team, but his staff fresh. And he doesn't want them there.
When I was leaving the open basketball practice, which was probably, I'm going to say 4-ish. I thought I passed Bryant and on his way out. And I meant to text him, but my phone was dead. EAD from all the stuff.
And he just had a baby
went on that day.
Him and his significant other just had a child here about 3 weeks ago, a little girl.
Yeah.
So he's not getting any sleep.
Well, and because, we know he puts in the hours that he could be leaving to go home and come back.
Oh yeah. That's what most guys will do. They'll go home for a half hour and see the kids and head back to work. That's what I would do during the season when I was coaching at Ball State. Go home, eat dinner, and then I was back at the office from 6:30 to 10, Monday through Wednesday, or Sunday through Thursday, or Sunday through Wednesday was a pretty much routine. You're in the office by 7 and you're home at 10 o'clock, 11 at night. So, you're grinding 14 hours a day for the most part, for the better part of the year in season. And when recruiting starts, you're still pounding those hours because of travel and nightly visits with, recruits and parents and everything. So it's not a traditional, 9-to-5 type of job. And I always would get asked, and you'll find this funny, talking to somebody that maybe didn't know as much about the game and coaching. They would ask, well, what else do you do? Thinking that I was only coaching for 2 hours a day. And I said, well, that's it. That's all we do is we're dedicated to the sport we coach and we have a ton to do. And they would always look at you like you were crazy, that they thought, man, you've got a great job. You don't have any other duties. You don't teach, you coach maybe 2 hours. What's that take? And then the rest of the day you're, this and that. And that wasn't the case at all. And so,
no, I mean, I think by now, most people have an understanding that a coach's life is, it's a coach's life. And it's not just in season.
Not anymore. These guys are 365.
It's just like what we do. In season seems to be the busiest part. It wasn't this year. It was out of season is what has worn me out. But yeah, it's the prep. It's to be a winner. You have to do everything, know everybody else's tendencies, know this, know that, watch film, watch recruiting films, find guys. It's a list that I can't even fill because I don't even know all of the things, but I know that it is many. I want to make this mention real quick. Michael, the Music Man, points out that Cody Zeller and Cal Schwarber, being inducted into the Indiana Athletics Hall of Fame, class of 25. I'll be sure to go to that one this year. I was supposed to go last year and I missed out on that, but thank you for pointing that out.
The other thing is watching film. That's the other thing you spend a ton of time doing. So you better enjoy watching.
Practice is over. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Watch the game and get into the X's and O's and tendencies of other teams and blocking schemes and things of that nature. How you're going to handle the blitz. What are you going to do on 1st and 10?
Heath is asking for a good IU themed boat name. And Gritty fired right back, Hurricane Hoosier.
Yep, there you go.
That's pretty damn good. I got a news for you, especially with this current team, because they damn well will be hurrying. They are going to be a throwback to that nickname is from way back, and Indiana apparently ran a very up-tempo game, and this is a long time ago. I'll have to let the listeners do it because they're so quick. But when that name came about, but it was I don't know if that was during Branch McCracken, his teams, which it very well may have been. So look at Gritty throwing the names out. Real Hoosier, REEL, if you're a fisherman. Man, those are great. That's quick thinking right there. And good suggestions. POTFB. All right, Gritty. What is the missing that football? Not dag on it. You gotta you lost me on that one. I'm sure it's funny, but there you go. Robert says the Don Fisher. Oh,
not a bad one either.
Or you could do it Dawn, like at Dawn, DAWN,
right.
Fisher, because Fisher is spelled incorrectly. His name has a C in it, but if you're fishing, DAWN Fisher, the Dawn Fisher.
Yeah.
There you go. These are great. This is funny. Joe says 66-0 does have a nice ring to it. So I don't know if that's a suggestion.
As a boat name? Is that what?
Yeah. Now we're back to Mibga, make Indiana basketball great again. I think that's one I came up with a while back. I don't want to take credit for something I didn't do, but I think I did. But see, he says the boat is red and white as well. Well, of course it is.
Yeah.
So
gotta have
Brian
it
pointing out, yes, Hurricane Hoosiers did come from the Branch McCracken era, 1938 to 65.
Interesting.
Well, that's going to be a return, and that name may resurface as well. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Robert's suggesting watch shot. That doesn't. I mean, that doesn't. No offense, but that just doesn't have a. Boat names are funny. If you walk around looking at boat names,
oh yeah,
it's like, oh well, that's funny. That's creative. Most kind of try to come up with kind of creative names, which always cool. But yeah, I liked Hurricane Hoosier. That's good. That's good on a boat. And then her second one, I forget now already what it was, but it was pretty funny. But anyway, let's take a quick listen to Coach Darren DeVries yesterday as he met with the media, and then our next segment we'll hear from Curt Cignetti.
I guess, Coach, first of all, just what have been the most productive or beneficial things of having these extra practices, not only as you get ready for Puerto Rico?
They're asking how important are these extra practices as they get up for Puerto Rico.
Awesome timing for us just to have the ability. You get 10 practices over the course of the summer, so we kind of spread them out like one a week, but it gives you almost a whole day that you can work on, whether it be defensive install, offensive install, terminology things. So when you got basically a brand new roster, so there's so many things you got to cover, and that for the timing for us to have it this first summer, I thought it has been a tremendous benefit for us. And then getting to play the 3 games in Puerto Rico, you don't treat them like you would, a regular season game. So, but it's still the opportunity to get out and play and get a feel for, how guys react to opponents that, aren't in the same jerseys that we've been going against for 8 straight weeks. So, but it's been really a nice luxury for us to have.
Mike and Alex.
Yeah, Coach. Tucker said that's kind of followed you throughout your career. I mean, you've been at your practices, obviously, as a player, but way before that too. But the energy level, getting student managers, sort of clapping and the chants and sort of trying to develop those organically. Why has that been a focus? What do you think is important about that? And why has that kind of been an emphasis of yours, obviously, throughout your career?
Yeah, we just think that, it's from June, all the way until the end of the season. Like it's a long year. We think you got to approach it every day with some energy and enthusiasm, that allows guys, because the guys are going to get tired, allows other guys to pick you up on those days. And so we put a huge emphasis on that. I think creating that type of talk and energy on a daily basis leads to productivity on the floor too. And then the pace that we practice, we try to really kind of simulate, how we want to play out on the game day floor. So everything we do, there's not a lot of downtime, not a lot of extra talking. We want to, play fast, play aggressive, and keep things moving. So we don't typically, like even now, we're a little restricted on hours in the summer, even with our practice time. But as it gets into the fall, even we'll try to make it really efficient in what we do and utilizing our time.
That's Coach Darren DeVries yesterday. We'll hear more from him as the week goes on. Want to quickly get Coach Cignetti in here before we run out of time as well to hear him a little bit.
All right. Okay, practice one in the books. It was hot and it was humid. So, but I thought the older guys, the experienced guys, pushed through it well. The team in general did push through it well. We got our work done, took a business-like approach. Haven't watched the tape yet. Do that after this press conference with the staff. But it's good to be back and good to get going.
He's already left and Zach. Yeah, Curt, you mentioned having those veterans. When you have so much continuity on the coaching staff and you bring back key guys kind of across the roster, does that eliminate some uncertainty you might otherwise have going into fall camp about kind of the team or the roster?
Well, I think the staff, we know what to expect from one another. The experienced guys that we have a long history with the same. To bring in experienced guys from other programs is good. We just have to assimilate them into our way of doing things, which we began doing last January. And but you're as good as you are today. Your resume, your body of work in the past is sort of an indicator, a predictor what the team is capable of doing.
There's Coach Sig a little bit, but we'll hear from a lot more of him as tomorrow and even into next week. The sound, I don't think they have the sound connected well yet. They've been having an issue because we were plugged into the malt boxes directly and not as good as we'd like for it to be, but that's out of our control. But man, it's been a fun, quick day. Look forward to doing this again tomorrow. I may have to get you back on. It's just, we can just sit here and chat it out, man. Enjoy it, but enjoyed all of the interaction on the chat line as well. Appreciate all of those that are following along on social media. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's greatly beneficial to us, and as well as all of our listeners on our great radio station affiliates. Keep it locked where you got it all day for more.
Show me tonight too. Now 7:30.
Your tailgate, but you can also catch that and on the Hoosier.com.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the only place where you can catch it, right?
Yeah, we got the Hoosier.com, and then of course, we do like you do on X and all that good stuff. So it's coming out at 7:30. We do it live, but then find it on the YouTube channels.
We've got more coming up tomorrow. We'll be back with it. Todd Leary will join us. We'll talk more basketball, and Zach Osterman, who was there at practice, both practices yesterday as well. So all of that coming up. Puerto Rico next week. Leave on Wednesday for that. So there's so much more coming, man. We appreciate each and every one of you. We're back tomorrow. Until then, for Coach Griff, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.